In a world that's ever changing, where dreams are in the making, there's a voice that's guiding you, helping you to break through. Boy! It's the Really Kevin podcast, where your dreams can come alive. With each story and each step, you'll find the strength to thrive.
Welcome to the Really Kevin podcast, where we explore the secrets to personal and professional growth, health, wealth, happiness, and more. I'm your host, Kevin Mills. Today, we're going to discuss something I feel is very important that we understand, and that is the power of mindset mastery. And how we develop it to achieve our fullest potential. Now, I believe in order to really achieve success in anything, really everything that we do, we need to understand mindset mastery and be able to, as the title says, master that mindset. I believe this so strongly that I'm going to be dedicating 4 podcasts to this topic alone. Additionally, you can find information in the form of coaching sessions and an online course on the topic of mindset mastery at reallykevin.com. This is one of the most important things you can understand and master for your success. Now, let's get started. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to thrive on challenges while others shrink back? Why some people see failure as stepping stones to success while others see it as a roadblock? The answer often lies in their mindset. As I just mentioned, we're going to have 4 podcasts on the topic of mindset mastery, and I'm going to break it up into 4 different categories. They're going to be growth mindset, mental resilience, techniques to bounce back from setbacks, overcoming limiting beliefs, strategies, and stories, and the role of mindset in achieving success. So even if you don't check out the resources at reallykevin.com, make sure you check out all 4 of these podcasts because they are going to be informative, I hope life-changing for you. A growth mindset, which is what we're going to be talking about today, is a concept developed by psychologist Carol Dweck. If you're not familiar with Carol Dweck, get online, do some research. You'll be surprised. She has a lot of presentations that you can find on YouTube, including a great TED Talk, where she's really going to open your eyes to understanding the different types of mindsets that unfortunately are forced on us and put on us, but also the types of mindsets that we can develop for ourselves. Now, it's the belief and her belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed with time, effort, and dedication. Now, we know this because we've been on this planet for a good long while, maybe not as long as me for some of you, but we've been here and we know that our abilities absolutely can develop and our intelligence can develop over time with effort, with dedication to learning whatever it is that we need to learn, to doing whatever it is that we need to do. I like to think of just any tasks that we're going to do. Let's talk about something fun though. How many of you play golf? I love golf. We go out, the more we play, the better we get. The more time we spend out there honing our craft, the better we get. If we need some help with something, like let's say our drive isn't quite straight, or we're not making contact the way that we need to, there's something we need to fine tune. We talk to a professional who helps us understand that and learn that and accomplish that. And voila, just like that, we become a better golfer. Our game is better, our swing is better, whatever it is that we need to work on, that we're practicing, that we're working on to develop, it's changed. This is in contrast to a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset assumes that our capabilities are static and unchangeable. And really, when you think about it, we all know that is not true. People with a growth mindset, and this is really what we need to develop. We know that this is something that we possess. Okay, this is something we need to develop. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. They are more resilient in the face of setbacks, and they are willing to put in the effort needed to improve. And that is very important. Effort. So many of us give up because we don't see results fast enough. We don't see results happening in the time frame that we want it to happen. We're an immediate kind of fast food society anymore. We think if we, push a button, something's going to happen. That is not the case. We need to put in the effort. And if our effort isn't yielding the returns that we want, we need to fine tune that effort, just like we would our golf game. We need to put in more time, just like we would our golf game. And that way we are able to improve whatever it is we're trying to accomplish. On the other hand, those with a fixed mindset are going to avoid the challenges. That's what we just talked about. You don't want to be that person avoiding the challenges, not putting in the effort, not putting in the time, not practicing, not working on your swing, not doing the things that you need to do in order to get better. These people give up more easily and they see effort as fruitless. They think they're wasting their time. And if you're not this person yourself, okay, nobody thinks of this, that they're this person, okay? But people who don't want to put in the time. They don't want to put in the effort. They feel like it is a waste of their time. They feel like they're not going to get anything from it. And one of my favorite quotes is from Henry Ford. And he said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. If you think that it's too much work and you think you're not going to accomplish it and you're not willing to change your mindset to believe otherwise, then you're absolutely correct, 100%. You are never going to get better. You're never going to accomplish anything. You might as well not put the effort in because you're not willing to do it. You have a fixed mindset. Now, I want to share a very powerful quote from Carol Dweck, and she made this in her statement on her TED Talk. And again, you can find this online on YouTube, and I've seen it on some other like Vimeo and others as well. So make sure you Google Carol Dweck TED Talk if you want. She said, the view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. Believing that your qualities are carved in stone, the fixed mindset creates an urgency to prove yourself over and over. If you have only a certain amount of intelligence, a certain personality, and a certain moral character, well, then you'd better prove that you have a healthy dose of them. Those are powerful words from Carol Dweck. So we're going to go to a break, but when we get back, we're going to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. We're going to talk about how we accomplish that, and we'll be back in just a second.
ReallyKevin.com. Weekly recorded coaching sessions. Learn, grow, find resources, opportunities, and more. You'll find it all at ReallyKevin.com.
Absolution X. Limited editions. Lifestyle apparel like none other. Get yours today at absolutionx.com.
Live the resort lifestyle every day with Cayman K. The perfect pieces for every wardrobe. Shop the entire Cayman K collection and find your favorites. Find all our styles at CaymanK.com.
We're back, and before I went into break, I said we were going to talk about developing our growth mindset, taking ourselves from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. If we're already in a growth mindset, how we're going to develop that growth mindset to be stronger, to be more powerful, to be more potent in achieving what we want to do and achieving success, achieving happiness, really. So let's talk about the steps to develop a growth mindset. Developing a growth mindset takes time and conscious effort. Now, there are some practical steps that we can use to cultivate this powerful mindset, and I put a couple of them together. The first one is acknowledge and embrace imperfections. None of us are perfect. If you believe that you're perfect and you believe you've got nothing that you can improve on, then power to you, go your way, turn this off, stop wasting your time, okay? If you're willing to admit that we're not perfect, God created us as perfect beings, but we are perfectly imperfect. And that's awesome, because even the most perfect diamond is still not 100% perfect. There are things that are off on it. There are ridges that aren't exactly perfect. There are little tiny microscopic nicks that you're not going to be able to see unless you've got a loop or even a microscope. Not all the facets are exactly 100% the exact same size or the exact same shape. Nothing in this world is perfect, while everything in this world is perfect, because everything working together in that imperfect whirlwind makes us a perfect world. And if we understand how that completes us, if we understand how to interact within that, then we can be happy and we can be successful. So let's acknowledge and embrace our imperfections. Let's recognize that ourselves, as well as everybody else, they're not perfect. And those imperfections are what make us unique, but they also provide us with opportunities for growth. When we accept our flaws, and we accept the flaws of those that around us, our friends, our coworkers, our family members, our spouses, our children, whatever else it is, when we accept those flaws, we are more likely to work on improving them for ourselves and being there to support those that we care about and improving those flaws, helping them improve their own flaws. Our second is viewing challenges as opportunities. Instead of avoiding challenges, see them as opportunities to learn and grow. I've said this for years and years and years. I believe the meaning of life is to grow. It is to be a better person. And we do that through challenges. We do that through hard times. Strong steel is tempered in fire and tempered by hammering and pounding. Just like that steel, so too are we. The more experiences we go through, the more challenges that we go through and we master, the stronger we become. If we embrace difficult tasks, if we embrace challenges, if we embrace the things that we don't want to deal with in our life, but we have to, we begin to understand them and understand that overcoming them makes us stronger. I see challenges and bumps in the road as literally a challenge that I need to get through, just like in a video game. I don't play video games, but think of it as a video game. Each time you come up to one of those challenges, the sooner you master it, the sooner you'll understand how to get past it. Next time you play that video game, you will know how to get past that whatever challenge it was. Life is the same. Life isn't a video game, but it is the same. Once we understand how to overcome these challenges, it becomes easier. And we become a learning tool for others that are facing those same challenges. We can offer our advice, if it's wanted, on how to get through it, on how to deal with it, on how to cope with it, on how to, whatever it is that person seeking our advice needs. We're able to provide that information because we have become stronger, we have become more knowledgeable, we have become more capable. So we're able to embrace those difficult tasks, understand that overcoming them makes us stronger. Third point, focus on the process, not just the outcome. Now, we've talked about in our coaching sessions for goal setting, but this is very, very important for our mindset as well. If we focus on how we're going to get to someplace versus what's at the end of our journey, we are going to be able to better accomplish that journey. We're going to emphasize the learning and the effort that it takes rather than the results. Studies have shown that when we do this and we focus on this and we find joy in that process, that our dopamine response is greater and we become stronger at the journey, at the process, than those who just focus on the end result. If you're just focusing on the end result, you're not really setting goals. You're not really planning to get there. You're just dreaming. You're putting down a wish list of things. You're not setting up goals that are achievable. Celebrate the small victories along the way. Celebrate the fact that you are advancing towards being a better person, advancing towards your goals, advancing towards a better life, advancing towards a better relationship, better health, better work relationships, whatever it is, celebrate that. recognize the progress that you're making. I suggest, and again, if you're on reallyKevin.com and you're taking our coaching sessions, you know this already. I suggest keeping a journal. And it's not a dear diary, today I this, today I that. Write a journey. Put down your milestones so that you can look back, so that you can say, hey, you know what? I've come a long way, baby. And at the same time, it shows you how much more you need to go. And it's not like, oh my God, I've only come this far. I've got this far to go. It's a milestone, and your life is going to be set up with these milestones until the day they put us in the dirt. That's something we need to accept. That's something we need to embrace. We're not going to be done with that journey ever. Imagine being an old man, maybe even older than me, and being able to look at that journal and see through the years all the accomplishments, all the milestones, all the things that you thought were important that maybe you don't think are important, or all the things that you maybe forgot, along the way, or needed reminded of in that journal. So I absolutely suggest keeping a journal. And some people, they just have a handful of journals for their entire life because that's how they write. Other people, they have closets and closets and closets of journals because they put more information into them. Whatever it is that works for you, whatever it is that makes you happiest, you don't have to write them on a piece of paper. You can keep an online journal. You can keep a journal in your computer. A lot of people nowadays, they do it on their phone. Whatever it is that works for you, that's what you should do. Point number 4, learn from criticism. Constructive criticism is a valuable source of information. Instead of taking criticism personally, use it as a tool to identify areas where you can improve. Now, you're going to have people who are just mean. They're just going to say mean things. Let it roll off your back. Don't worry about it. If somebody has a genuine constructive criticism, or you believe that they're coming from a good place, but you don't necessarily agree with them, think about it. Think about, why is it that this person believes this about me? Why is it that this person would say this about me? Why is it this person feels this way about me? And do some self-examination. And you know what? Whether you see it or not, okay, take it as an indication to start fixing that particular part of your life. Make it better. We all have room for improvement. We may not agree with what the person said, but you know what? We can all improve. So if someone says, I think you take things too personally, maybe we don't think we take things too personally, or maybe we take it very personally and we get mad and we huff off. Maybe we don't think we take things personally, but you know what? How hard is it for us to practice and to work on not taking things so personally? How hard is it for us to make our life better by not worrying about and not responding to things that really don't matter to us in the long run? And again, having that journal and embracing the journey is going to help us to understand that that big picture is what matters. Those little things, somebody saying something to us today that's not going to matter in a week, it's not going to matter in 2 weeks, it's definitely not going to matter in a month. It's just not worth expending the energy on. It's not worth letting ourselves get upset over. Last point, celebrate growth with others. Now, again, if you've been taking our coaching sessions at reallyKevin.com, we talk about this in depth. We talk about not just celebrating our growth with others, but finding people who are going to keep us on track, sharing our goals with others, sharing our accomplishments with others. If we have somebody who cares about us, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, a spouse, whatever it is, if they care about us and we share what we want to do, if we share our initiatives, we share our goals, we share everything that we can, when we get one step closer to accomplishing whatever that is, when we get one step away from whatever it is, or when we actually achieve whatever it is, we need to share that with others, and they are going to encourage us. They are going to be that person that pushes us on. They're going to be that extra motivation. You may be a very motivated person, but if you've got other people behind you who are also motivated, who are also pushing you, you're going to be able to do a lot more. So surround yourself with people who support your growth and they celebrate your successes with you. This creates a positive environment and it fosters continuous improvement. Now we're up on a break again, but we're going to be back in just a second. Well, maybe a minute. But I hope you'll stick around and we're going to talk about more of mastering mindset and today growth mindset. We'll be right back.
Absolution X. Limited editions. Seek your absolution. Lifestyle apparel like no other. Only at absolutionx.com.
Live the resort lifestyle every day with Cayman K. The perfect pieces for every wardrobe. Shop the entire Cayman K collection and find your favorites. Find all our styles at caymank.com.
Awaken your potential and harness the strengths of your inner self. Online courses that you complete at your own pace. Set and achieve all of your goals. Packed with an ever-growing catalog of information, resources, learning programs, weekly recorded coaching sessions, podcast, posts and more to keep you on track for your best life. Because the only person who can guarantee your success is you. www.reallykevin.com.
All right, we're back, and in this segment, our last segment, we're going to talk about practical examples and tips, and we're going to put these steps into a real life context. Now, imagine you're learning a new skill like playing a musical instrument. If you have a fixed mindset, you might think like, I'm not musically talented. Why am I even bothering trying this? Why am I even putting forth my effort? This is a waste of time. If you have a growth mindset, you're approaching it differently. You're saying things like, I may not be great now, but with some time, with some practice, I'm going to improve. I'm going to be better. Your growth mindset is going to say, you know what? If I put in the time and the effort, I'm going to master this. I am going to be great. I'm going to be a great trumpet player, a great piano player, a great violin player, whatever it is. Approach it from your growth mindset versus your fixed mindset. Your growth mindset is going to set smaller, achievable goals. You're going to seek feedback from your teacher, from family members that are listening to you playing, from perhaps your neighbors who have heard you play. And I've seen this myself. My daughter learned violin, and we didn't think anything of it because the neighbors didn't say anything. But the other day we had a neighbor who happened to stop by while they were walking their dog, and they said, you know, your daughter's violin is getting so much better. So they're walking their dog past our house. They're hearing her playing violin, and they're hearing her over the course of weeks getting better and better and better. And a lot of times, if we're hearing that every day, like I am, or like her mom, or like she is, you know, we may not see the growth as much as somebody who hears it periodically and they can see those steps. So make sure you're getting feedback from others and celebrate that progress along the way. She was excited because the neighbor actually saw her later that day and said, why don't you come over someday and play the violin for us? It's an elderly couple. It's just them and their dog. But that for her meant a lot because it meant somebody wanted to celebrate her accomplishments with her. That motivates her more to do better because she wants to do better when she goes over there, if she ever goes over there, to do a performance for them. Over time, you're going to see significant improvement, not because you are inherently talented, but because you put forth the effort to grow. You put forth the effort to learn. You put forth the effort to understand. Let's talk about a few interactions and some tips that can go along on this topic. Some practical tips for you guys to start using today to develop your growth mindset are: embrace failure. Start viewing failures as learning opportunities. Every little failure that it is, if you forgot to put gas in the car, because before you went to work, and now you're rolling into the parking lot and you're on E, you're just floating in on fumes, look at that as a learning opportunity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? And more importantly, what can I do to make this a better experience next time, or to make this a non-issue next time? For example, it's simple. The night before, we go and get gas, or we leave for work a little bit earlier and we get gas. Solutions are sometimes simple. Solutions are sometimes more complicated. But if we look at those failures, those challenges, as something that's going to make us stronger, the sooner we get through it, the stronger we become, and the better equipped we become at having to deal with this the next time. How many of you guys went through something in your life that was just devastating? And I'm not talking loss or anything else, just an event that was difficult to get through. And now if you had to go through that same event again, you have a better understanding, and you realize that, I'll get through it a lot better this time because I know how to do it. I know how to solve it. I know how this problem ends. I know what the solutions are. Look at every single failure, every single challenge through that lens, and understand that the next time we're going to be better equipped if we even have to deal with it again. Sometimes we have a challenge that we have to accomplish in our life, and that's it. We move on. We're done. Tip number 2, cultivate curiosity. Be curious and open to learning new things. Most important, be open to learning new things. So many people, young people even, not just people in my age group, so many people, they just don't want to learn anything else. They feel like they know it all, or they just don't want to make their brain tired trying to learn anything more. Read books, take up new hobbies, engage in activities that challenge you. Go to reallykevin.com. We have multiple different courses and programs on everything from wealth building to health, to relationships, to everything. Go to reallykevin.com. Go to the library. Take every single opportunity that you can, even if it's going to the golf course to improve your golf swing, to improve your golf game, going to the tennis courts, to the tennis center to take some additional lessons. We can all learn something from somebody. We are not so perfect that I'm going to give you an example. I deal with a lot of tennis coaches and golf coaches and other types of coaches, and they are at the top of their game. Sometimes they are one of the top 10 or top 15 people in the world in their field. But if you ask them if they could learn something from somebody else, they'll tell you, yes, I can. They will tell you, I would love to sit down with so-and-so, somebody else in their field. I would love to sit down with so-and-so and see how they do this, to see how they've mastered that, to see how see what they would tell me I could do on my stroke, because I don't think it's great, on my swing, because I don't think it's that great, whatever it is. You can never stop learning, and you can never stop improving. So get out there, take every single opportunity you can, whether it's improving your golf game or just reading more books to learn more about whatever it is you're interested in. Go and get it done. Third tip, set learning goals. Instead of setting performance goals like, I want an A on this test, or I want to get this account, or I want the boss to recognize me for this or that, set learning goals such as, I want to understand this topic deeply. I want to understand everything that our client needs to be able to fulfill their needs as greatly as possible, because at the end of the day, that is why I'm in this job, is because those clients need us. They need our expertise. Don't look at it like, well, if I do this really well, then I might get a raise, or I might get that better office, or I might get recognition from, the team. Do what is going to make you stronger. Do what is going to make you better, and figure out how to do that at the same time. Tip number 4, and this is our last tip, reflect on your progress. Regularly take time to reflect on the progress you've made, the lessons you've learned. Again, back to the journal, write them down. Okay. Spend a minute thinking about it. Where am I today versus a week ago, versus a month ago, versus a year ago? Write it down. You may not see the steps you're making every day, but if you take a minute and you say, you know what, where was I on this topic a year ago? And if it's something you're working on and you don't see improvement, then you need to change what you're doing. But look back at your past. And again, if you've got a journal, that makes it easier. Where was I then versus now? What improvements can I continue to make to keep moving forward? What am I doing right that I can do more of to keep moving forward? By reflecting on our progress, it helps us reinforce our growth mindset, and it keeps us motivated. And don't forget to share those milestones with those around you. Now, on the topic of sharing, I'd love to hear from you. How do you work on developing your growth mindset? How are you going to work on developing your growth mindset? How have you worked on developing your growth mindset in your daily life? I'd love it if you'd share your thoughts and experiences with us on social media using the hashtag #ReallyKevinMindsetMastery. Now, as we wrap up today on our Mindset Mastery episode, the Developing Growth Mindset episode, actually, let's remember that developing a growth mindset is a journey. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes practice, but the rewards are immense. The rewards are our success. By embracing challenges, learning from failures, and constantly seeking to improve, we're going to unlock our true potential. Thank you for tuning in to the Really Kevin podcast. Don't forget to check out reallykevin.com for a lot of additional resources on the subject of mindset mastery. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, share with others who might also benefit. Until next time, keep growing and stay inspired. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you for joining us on the Really Kevin podcast. Just a reminder, you can catch the Really Kevin podcast on your favorite podcast platform in both audio and video formats. Make sure you check our reallykevin.com for resources, programs, and more, and make sure you join us back here again for the Really Kevin podcast. Follow us for even more content on our social media channels. Really Kevin on Facebook, Instagram at IG Really Kevin, TikTok is TT Really Kevin, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at X Really Kevin. And again, don't forget to check our www.reallykevin.com. Until next time, enjoy your amazing life.